Welcome to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So are Meghan Markle and Harry losing their star power and credibility? Now, as we know, they left the royal family 2 years ago in January of 2020 on their Megxit journey to find financial freedom, and it looked like they were off to a running start. They were the hot royals hitting Hollywood. Everyone was in love with the Sussexes. She was doing her Disney project where she was doing the voiceover for the elephants, and then immediately they came out the gate signing these huge multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify. Now, 2 years later, they have absolutely nothing to show for it. They have been proven to be non-starters and not able to work on their productions for both Spotify and Netflix. On top of that, they have had a lot of controversy, including the infamous Oprah Winfrey interview. Now, it is stated that Oprah is extremely upset with the Sussexes for making her look like a royal fool. You know, she went into that interview thinking she was interviewing a friend. She was getting an exclusive. They were telling their truth. Therefore, she didn't do any fact checking. And after the interview, she was really happy and gloating and so happy she got the juicy goods on TV and said it was the best work she'd ever done. But shortly after that, when all of the backlash came out and people started debunking the interview, Oprah looked like a fool. If you remember, a long time ago, she had that author on her show, I believe it was 1999, James Frey, where he wrote that book. I think it was called A Million Little Pieces, where he basically had to come back on the show and tell her he lied to her face, and she ripped him a new one. Well, now the Sussexes have made her look like a fool all over again, but Oprah has been radio silent. It is rumored that she is no longer talking to the Sussexes, has cut off all ties. They have removed that interview from Oprah's channel as well as CBS, and nobody mentions it because you can't have an interview like that with a bunch of untruths without doing any kind of disclaimer or investigative reporting. So the fact that Oprah and CBS both removed any trace of that interview is a huge sign that they are no longer standing by that interview or the Sussexes. Now, at the time, Oprah really could not speak out publicly against the Sussexes because she had the Me You Can't See deal with Harry that was airing on Apple TV just a few months later. But I guarantee you the whispers are they are no longer friends, they're no longer on speaking terms, because you think Oprah Winfrey is going to sit back and let you make a complete fool of her on national television after her 30-year career? Nope. Because Oprah Winfrey is a very powerful woman, and these people made her look like a fool. So the fact that they did that to her and she's not coming out publicly, I guarantee you behind closed doors, they are not a part of her circle. Then there's the whole 40 by 40 debacle where Meghan was trying to put her on the same status as Obama and Mandela, where for her 40th birthday, she had that huge event where all of these little socialites and Hollywood influencers were giving out free swag, and all of them were doing these major unboxings on Instagram, going like, oh my God, 40 by 40, thank you, Meghan, hashtag juices. Duck lips, thank you, Meg. 40 by 40, awesome. But after they took the photos for Instagram, nothing happened. It was literally just a publicity stunt with no traction, okay? Because she's not Mandela or Obama. It's like she doesn't know who she is. One moment she's a cable actress, the next minute she's a duchess, the next minute she's a humanitarian, the next minute she's squatting, drinking from a baby bottle on Ellen. Who are you, Meghan? You can't do all of them. It makes you look like a fool, and you're starting to look like a laughingstock. So people in Hollywood are now realizing the Sussexes are non-starters. They have the Spotify deal, the Netflix deal. Now they're in jeopardy of possibly losing this deals. They lied on national television. They dragged his family through the mud. Then it came out that she lied in court. She was a part of the book. She's jumping on all these political bandwagons constantly, but it's getting to the point where people are starting to distance themselves from this dynamic duo. Then you have the snub of the Obamas from the birthday party. You have the flop of the 40 by 40. You have these two deals, which are basically about to end for them. And the only thing that they have going for them is the fact he's coming out with another book to slam his family. It's like they're a one-trick pony, and the only way they can make money is to slam his family. They've gotten to the point where they're so boring that the makers of the Lifetime movies of Harry and Meghan, where there was 3 in the series, have announced they're not making any more Harry and Meghan movies because there's literally nothing to talk about. They haven't done anything for 2 years. The last movie, Escape in the Palace, they had them riding off in the sunset together to find their freedom. Well, they've had freedom for 2 years, and now they're fledgling around trying to save a buck. Now we have William and Catherine. The real royals are coming to America for Earthshot. Now, everyone in Hollywood and all the major political figures are going to be at this event because when the future king and queen of England come into town, you're going to go to that event. This is just like when they came in 2011. I remember they took Hollywood by storm, and who's who of Hollywood were literally elbowing each other and pushing each other to get to Catherine and William. They are a star power couple who hold a real position in the royal family. They're not the ex-royals who are sitting on the bench, the second-tier royals who don't have anything going on. Harry and Meghan have absolutely no purpose and no relevance in the world of politics and in the world of Hollywood. They literally signed a piece of paper and got an advance, and 2 years later, they have nothing. They had a book that flopped. They had a couple of TV appearances, and they had a couple of Zoom calls where they gave some woke salad speeches. They remind me a lot of the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. It's kind of like history repeating themselves, where they were the good-looking, fancy couple who lived a very, expensive lifestyle, who left the royal family and went off to become very unlikable, unpopular, and irrelevant. And I feel like Harry and Meghan are becoming very unpopular, unlikable, and irrelevant, and their fancy lifestyle is catching up with them because the money is not coming in. And people are not surrounding them the way that they were 2 years ago. I think people started to realize the gig is up on these two. We're going to bank on the future king and queen of England. These two grifters over here are throwing their name on any cause and are trying to get as many checks in the bank as they can, but there's no substance. There's absolutely no substance. They are non-starters. Spotify has taken over all creative aspects and production of Archwell Audio a year after their contract due to the fact the couple has not produced any podcast, even though they hired Rebecca Sonanis back in July to head Archwell Audio. Now Netflix is also following suit with them taking over the hiring of a brand new animation team for the Project Pearl. This is 16 months after the Sussexes signed a deal with Netflix. They hired all of these, very expensive producers and directors to work on this project, yet nothing has happened. So again, there's a lot of issues there. They're beginning to get a reputation of being difficult, non-starters, and in Hollywood, you're only as good as your last project. Your reputation is everything. Their brand is all over the place. They're trying to be these humanitarians, and then they're actors, and then they're squatting on TV shows and drinking out of baby bottles. It's like, and then they're getting on phone calls and calling, members of Congress. It's like, who are you and what are you trying to do? They're just all over the place, but there's no real substance. So I think a lot of people are starting to see through the Sussexes, as the second tier royals, the people of no substance, the people who are now irrelevant. They don't hold anything that the Obamas or Oprah or anyone else would really be interested in. What do they have? What is their appeal? They don't have what Kate and William have. Kate and William are the future of the royal monarchy. They have a little bit more star power and a little bit more relevance and importance in the world. When Kate and William come to Hollywood, it is going to be a who's who. Everyone is going to be at that event. Even Meghan and Harry's supposed allies and friends are going to get themselves at that event, because that is the event you want to be seen at. So are these Sussexes losing their star power and their relevance in Hollywood? What do you guys think? Leave your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. Please be sure to stop by my blog, royaldailytea.com, as well as my other social media accounts. I really do appreciate your support, guys. Thank you, and have an awesome and amazing day. Bye, guys.